being seen than not seen.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, but I live 45 minutes away, so I check my phone and let's check the timer, and I'm like, okay, well, if you're 45 minutes away, you're not going to make it before we close, but we're open 12 to 7 Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 5 on Sunday. Stop in, and he hangs up on me. What a douche!
A lot of hanging up to.
I do that sometimes, though, when it's a really not in that situation where I'm trying to be helpful. And they hang up on me. Yeah, I'm furious, but if somebody's like just being super rude to me, yeah, I will hang up on you.
See, what you should have done, you should have called them back, be like, I'll pay you $1 million, come down here right now, and then like told them the wrong address.
Okay.
That would have been funny.
Fucker.
Hey, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Damn it.
Why do you say damn?
Okay. All right. Hello and welcome to the 28th episode of Damage Control Podcasting, a professionally unprofessional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. I am here with
Daniel Newkirk.
Cody Dietrich.
Tyler Tipton.
All right. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome. It's safe to say none of us are mothers.
One
No.
time.
It's safe to say we all have mothers.
Yes.
Did we wish them a happy Mother's Day?
Absolutely.
Did you?
Okay. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I
All right.
love you, Mommy.
I even wished Cody's mom a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, I like how Cody's mom gets a tweet, but our mom don't get a tweet.
She stopped listening, so you know what? Forget her. Okay.
Wait, your mom listens?
Yeah, I subscribed her to the channel, and she's listened to a couple episodes.
Nice. Hi, Mom.
She better listen to this one.
You should have your mama as like a special guest.
She wouldn't like that.
Oh, really?
Okay. Before we begin, I want to thank Sean again for coming and
Maybe,
playing
I
with
don't
us.
know.
No, I
You
was
say
trying to
coming
think
again
of-
and playing with us?
Yeah. I would thank you to Sean.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Sean Seacrease of the Tryhards.
Yes.
A lot of fun having him on last episode.
Also, big thanks to Alex Trapini for subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I
Trapini?
think so. Yeah, sounds right.
All right.
Name sounds
If
right.
that is not correct, please correct us.
Yeah, don't unsubscribe.
Screw these guys.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you. Okay. So episode 28, trivia to get into. Anyone want to bring anything up for getting into tonight's trivia, into tonight's topic?
No, let's do it.
All right. How many hand-drawn frames are in Disney's Snow White?
Ow.
Now here, it takes 24 frames per second. That's 24 hand-drawn frames for 1 second of film. It was 83 minutes long.
I'm not going to
So
do the
wouldn't that
math.
just be 24 times 83?
Oh, is that right?
160, 172?
It was one.
Oh no, that's not
That's
not how math
nowhere
works at
close.
all. That's not how math works at all.
It completely got me because I don't know how math works. It was
Hold on.
okay.
It was 83 minutes,
83 minutes long.
1,992.
It was 119,500 hand-drawn frames.
Okay then.
All right. What
Yep. All right.
What are
Moving
the?
on.
No, I didn't do the math. The internet did the math on that one.
Thank
Or
you,
would we
thank
be
you,
about the
Wikipedia.
And honestly, I was not the first person to Google that.
Oh, that's 24. Oh, okay, I did 24 frames a minute. That's a real slow moving cartoon.
Yes. Actually, back in the old days, when back in the original old cinema days, to do the film, right? So there would be a thing. So you'd have the film.
Are you talking about how when Disney first did Snow White, it would, instead of drawing the entire scene, panel, he did the one background scene, and then all the movement was done on separate screens?
No. I'm talking about like the actual like back in the actual cinema, back in like when the Lumiere brothers were doing it. To do that, so you'd have the camera. So a frame would drop down in front, and then the iris would open, let the light through, burn the image on the iris, and then it would close. A frame would drop, iris would open, burn light. Okay, so when they played it, there was it was really cool. So if it was an hour long, you're actually only watching 30 minutes of footage because it was a frame of footage, black, frame of footage, black, and then when they played it at 24 frames per second, which was the standard now, then I think they can do like 60 frames per second now. So it was actually, you were watching an hour long thing. You were only actually
Watching 30 minutes of actual footage.
Yeah, and then your mind would
would fill in the details.
Yes, it's pretty cool.
It's like that. You can still read a paragraph of words and such, and the words be all jumbled up, but your mind automatically puts it in the right order for you because all the right letters are there for the word, so your mind just does the rest anyway.
Yeah. As long as the first letter,
last letter are in the right place.
But only 1 in 5 people, according to Facebook, can do that.
I'm so tired of those.
Well, if Facebook said it, then it's correct. Okay, sorry. One trivia question in, I've already derailed the podcast.
Yeah.
What are the names of the 3 godmothers in Disney's Sleeping Beauty?
Laura, Fauna, and Merriweather.
That is amazing. Like, how did you know that?
There's a man who just watched it the other day.
Yeah.
I've only seen Sleeping Beauty like once.
Wow. Me and Tyler at Mother's Day yesterday, we watched Shrek to prepare for tonight's podcast. Shrek. Yeah.
Great movie. Horrible movie.
I've seen it too many times. Last question before we get into tonight's. How many languages have the Grimm fairy tales been translated into?
69.
No.
112?
Close. 160 languages with 120 different editions in the U.S. alone.
Wow. That was my next guess.
Okay. So with today being Mother's Day, we at the 3D, it's sticking, wanted to talk about something related to mothers. So we thought fairy godmothers, then we thought fairy tales, then I think I did that backwards. We thought fairy tales, then we thought fairy godmothers, then we thought what are the differences between Disney versions of fairy tales and the Grimm fairy tales.
Then we thought Adam's a fairy, and we just went with it. Ran with it.
So, how would you guys define a fairy tale?
Well, I think it's some sort of like high fantasy type of idea that is designed to teach like some sort of moral or some sort of lesson to children.
Okay.
I can get behind that part way, but then another stuff is just good things will happen to good people.
Not at first.
Not at first.
Yeah, your life's gonna suck for a long time.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. The Wikipedia defined it as a fairy tale, wonder tale, magic tale, or marchand. Probably not saying that right. Is a folklore genre that takes the form of a short story that typically features entities such as dwarves, dragons, elves, fairies, giants, gnomes, goblins, griffins, mermaids, talking animals, trolls, unicorns, or witches, and usually has magic or enchantments.
So Harry Potter's a fairy tale. So it has all those things.
Well, it says fairy tales may be distinguished from other folk narratives such as legends, and have explicitly moral tales, including beast fables.
Yeah, like I think that's the difference between a fantasy story and a fairy tale is the moral of the story, because every fairy tale has a moral.
I wanted to ask you that. So when I was doing the research on this, so magic would not be considered in the fairy tale realm because magic has like trolls and unicorns and witches, right?
Yeah, all of those things. All of those things are indicative of pretty much any high fantasy genre. But you don't call them fairy tales, so Magic the Gathering's not a fairy tale game.
So it's the moral that makes it the.
That was
the moral or the lesson to learn.
That's for me because I mean you don't call Lord of the Rings a fairy tale.
But
Lord of the Rings has all of those things.
Could it be?
Like, isn't there a lesson?
Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Cherish what you have.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said last week, I don't know jack shit about Magic, but I mean, is there any like morals in the game, or
yeah, I mean, you could find a morality tale everywhere, but the goal is always to tell an entertaining story, not teach a moral. But you could.
I just think like fairy tales have
waste not, want not.
Probably wouldn't
waste
be
not.
like
yes.
Stigma the right word, but you know, a game like Magic or like you said, Lord of the Rings, people wouldn't necessarily like it to be associated with a fairy tale.
So is it basically the way they classify music, where it's got rock and roll, then you got like indie rock, you got alt rock, you got college, where it's like, man, it's just all rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one way to put it. I mean, at its heart, a fairy tale is just a fantasy story, but there's that one kind of distinction that makes it different.
So fairy tales have been around since before written history. It was an oral tradition. So do I?
Sorry.
Okay. So would you? So the term like the fantasy realm. What would you spit everywhere? What would you call it? The Magic, the Gathering, Lord of the Rings. You call that like a fantasy?
Yeah, I call it high fantasy.
High fantasy.
What I refer to it as.
So that's the new term that's come into this. So if none of that had came, so if we were sitting around a campfire and we were talking about the ring and all that would be considered a fairy tale at the time.
That's kind of my understanding, but again, the intent.
Yeah.
So if your intent is to entertain, you're telling a story.
Okay.
If your intent is to teach, you're telling a fairy tale.
Okay, so they use fairy tales as like look, kid, come here.
The boy who cried wolf.
That's what exactly what I was going to do. Like,
exactly,
okay, look, Junior. Today, when we were all there skinning our food for supper, and you said the old not saber-tooth.
The old saber-tooth.
Is that how that story goes?
I'm thinking of Flintstones here.
Remind me not to let you tell stories to my kids.
You said the old woolly mammoth here was attacking us. There was nothing there. So let me tell you the story of...
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Sorry for the loudness. We all got mics now. We all got a new studio.
That hit my crotch.
Yeah.
Cody just molested a $10,000 microphone.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn your mic down a little bit, Cody.
So what makes it worse is the comment when we were getting that picture taken a few weeks ago.
What?
When you're like, now we know better not to stand in front of Cody.
Yeah. So anyway, are we still recording? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, sorry, that was on me. I bumped the table and.
I went with cheaper mic stands because I saw I had money for, so maybe it wasn't the best idea. You get what you pay for, I guess.
I want to build, some stuff so we can just have the mic swing down.
They have those. They're really cheap, but it's the setup. Anyway, Cody, give me a quick mic test.
Hello, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Brand new mic. Daniel breaks it day one.
No, we're good. So basically, the fairy tales were used as like a scolding device back in like the oral tradition days.
Yeah, kind of.
I wouldn't necessarily a scolding device, more of a way to scold, basically make a kid not do something as not a repercussion of them doing it, but so they don't do it in the first place.
It was used. Why hurt your kid physically when you can scar them emotionally and mentally? And their fairy tales came into being.
I like it. Coming from a true father.
There you go.
Okay. The father of two. Okay.
1 3/4.
1 3/4. So, what? Okay. So as always, what are some of our favorite fairy tales? Whether it be just written down ones, or movies, or just any ones your grandpa or whatever told you as a child. I don't know if I have a favorite one. I kind of like the horror elements of like the giant whale in Pinocchio. To this day, still scares me, and the giant Ursula coming. Things emerging out of water terrify the crap out of me.
That's why he was so like, oh, Meg's gonna be so scary.
Never play Shadows of the Colossus.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if we go see Meg as a group, my armpits will be completely sweaty. My pants will be sweat through. My knees on my pants will be sweat through.
So how is this different?
So Ursula emerging from the water used to terrify me as a child, and I refuse to watch it as an adult. I don't like merging. I don't like the ocean. I don't like things in the ocean.
What a pansy.
Yeah. Now, I am completely racist against things in the ocean. I don't care. I'll openly admit it. I hate the animals in the ocean.
You know what's in the ocean? Asia.
Okay. Anyway, I derailed us. So that was some of my favorite fairy tales. Other than that, I really don't care for the movies, or I haven't really read the books or anything. So.
I think my favorite fairy tale is probably, probably Beauty and the Beast. I really like Beauty and the Beast.
Did you like the live action?
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my my to watch.
It's good.
But I also really liked
the music, and that's great. I like that.
Little Red Riding Hood. I always really enjoyed Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay.
I can't remember the damn name of it. It is. I used to I used to have this VHS. Everybody remember VHSs? I'm sure
Yes.
this table, but if we have any younger listeners, it used to be before DVDs. It was a VHS of nothing but animated fairy tales and stuff.
Okay.
And one of my favorite ones from them had to do with this girl, and it was about this princess, and she had 7 older brothers.
Okay.
And it has the classic tale: the father marries this woman from the woods who turns out to be a witch. Well, the father dies, and the queen's like, the witch says, I'm going to take over this kingdom, and she proceeds to turn all the kids into swans. Well, the little girl gets away.
Swan Princess?
No, it's not the Swan Princess. It's just...
Black Swan?
No, it's not that.
Oh.
I can't remember the damn name.
Swan Lake?
It's nothing to do with Swan Lake. No, it's...
Oh.
Well, anyway...
Thank you, Google.
Daniel's bringing out Google. Anyway, continue, Cody.
Busting out the big guns.
Well, she escapes into the woods, and
Okay.
she's like, I'm all alone, and then her brothers come as swans to say, there's a way to break this curse, but it's going to cost you.
Oh,
you're
the
not
ugly
going to be able
duckling?
to speak you're going to have to weave together cloaks of marigolds. It's a type of yellow flower, I think.
Okay.
But while you're doing this, you may not speak or utter a single sound.
Oh.
And then she has to, basically, to get her brothers back, she has to weave together all this stuff for I think 7 years.
That'd suck if you're doing that, and you're almost done, and you mess up, and you're like, fuck, and then...
Exactly, that sort of thing. That sort of dedication, not a single sound. And then the classic, the prince, there's a beautiful woman in the woods, and he finds her, and she won't speak to him at all, but he's so in love with her beauty that he takes her back to the castle, marries her without a single word. They have a child together, and then, oh no, the evil queen comes. And then she's like, oh, she's not talking because she's a witch. And all this. And then the brothers come with the cloaks and all this stuff, and then they're like, we're human again. We're taking back the kingdom.
I am blown.
Completely
Daniel,
lost.
Please tell
I
me-
understand.
Please tell me you found it.
I've got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
What's it
right,
called?
cool.
It's The Six Swans by Brothers Grimm.
Oh, but that doesn't really have a...
Oh, and then
How does it actually end, though, in the... Does it say how it ends? Because that sounded like way too happy of a ending for a Grimm fairy tale.
Let's see. The young queen gives birth to 2 new children. The king is unable to keep protecting her and unable to properly defend her. The queen is sentenced to be burned at the stake. On the day of the execution, the queen has all but finished making the shirts for her brothers, because she's making shirts out of nettles.
right.
The only last shirt is missing a left arm. As she's about to be burnt, the 7 years expire and the 6 swans come flying through the air. She throws the shirts over her brothers and they regain their human form, though the youngest prince's left arm remains a wing due to the missing sleeve. And then the queen is now free to speak, and she can defend herself against the accusations. She does so with the support of her brothers. Then the mother-in-law returns the baby she stole, and she is the one who's burned at the stake as punishment.
That'd be hard to prove, because she's going to be burned at the stake for being a witch.
And then
she just magically turns these geese into humans again. And you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not a witch. I just did that shit, but...
And then...
Well, the problem is that she didn't weigh the same as a duck. So, not a witch.
Yeah.
And then my other one was Burnham. It's the one about the 4 animals who are traveling to join an opera. And they're going to sing, and because they're all fixing to be either slaughtered or sold off. And so instead of doing that, they leave their farms and stuff to travel to join an opera.
I haven't seen it either.
That is, yeah.
You know, like I said, obscure, I know.
Okay, not to get too political, because I don't. But would the Grimm, let's say William and Jacob, or Wilhelm and Jacob existed today, in today's social climate, would all that pass? All their stories probably wouldn't be able to pass through today's social climate.
No, I mean,
No.
just looking at the way that...
Too depressing.
Yeah, the way the Grimm's fairy tales get changed to be appropriate 30 years ago, and we talk about how things, those Disney movies would never be made at this day and era. You know, no, the original Grimm fairy tales would never get written. Same thing with a lot of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales.
Okay. What about? Do you guys watch the guys from Lost, their second
Once
show?
Upon a Time.
Yeah, thank you. What do you guys think? You guys are watching that?
I liked it for like the first few seasons, and then now I think it's like most shows, it's just run its course.
Long
and
in
you
the
just
tooth.
shoot it.
Yeah, I hung in there for a real long time, and
Didn't
it
they bring
got
it-
real bad.
Didn't they bring in everything? They brought in Peter Pan. They brought in
Yep.
Jafar,
Mhm.
who was what's his face from Lost, right?
That was in their spin-off.
Yeah, Once Upon
And then they
Time in
brought
Wonderland.
yeah, and then they brought in a different Jafar. Like season 1 was really good,
Okay.
and then season 2 it started to go downhill because they started breaking it into like season 2 part A had one plot, and then season 2 part B had a different plot.
So they tried doing the Lost method, and they couldn't
yeah,
keep
and
up
then
with it.
like season 3 you're like, all right, I'll keep hanging in there, and then you're just like, then 4 got better, and then 5 was like, yeah, all right, I'm done.
Is the show still on?
It is.
Oh, man.
My mom still watches it.
So where did they
I
brought
have
in?
checked
Oh,
out.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I checked out. I checked out right around the time that King Arthur was relevant.
Yeah.
I watched the King Arthur arc, and then I finished the Hades arc.
Yeah,
And
They
when-
brought in Hades.
Yeah, they brought in Hades.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a beef I have because I'm big into Greek mythology.
You wouldn't like it.
Was Hades a diabolical, like the modern Christian version of the devil, or was he more like just a man?
He was James
doing-
Woods, Hercules, Hades.
He was a comic. Comedian?
Similar.
He had some,
Kinda dumb?
He had some
No.
laughing lines, but yeah, he was mostly like an evil overlord kind of character.
So he was
Yeah.
basically a Satan.
Yeah.
Okay, I dislike that because that's not what Hades was.
No,
I mean, he was.
Yeah, there was a little bit more to it. Like, if I remember, there was a love plot between him and
The Wicked Witch.
Yeah, the Wicked Witch of Oz.
Yeah.
But
It
they
was-
brought in the Oz guys
Yep,
too.
absolutely. Yeah.
Tin Man and all of them.
No, just the witch.
Yeah, the Wicked Witch. I thought there was someone else there too.
No, they had like the Council of Witches, and like the Wicked Witch of the West. She was the main one. Yeah, they brought in everyone. Then they brought in the Land of Unfinished Stories with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and
How's that unfinished?
that's the land that they're from. I don't.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
Yeah, I checked out right when they were introducing a lot of that stuff, and I didn't watch it.
Yeah, like
They
now,
didn't
like
have that storyline.
they've gotten rid of like most of the cast is left. Like Cameron from House is gone.
Well, so did they finish her story, or she's just like, I'm done with this show?
She left, and then like they time jumped from her son, who's like was a kid. Now he's an adult, and then like they replayed like the opening scene of like the show was her son Henry coming to find her and be like, I'm your son. And then like in season 7, like he was the adult, and this small Asian child's like, I'm your daughter. And he's like,
I wouldn't accept that.
yeah,
show.
you're probably not.
Spoilers for the show, by the way,
Yeah.
even though we've been talking about it. Okay, well, so they went from fairy tales. Now they just took every literary character.
Well,
Yeah.
Because Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde wouldn't be a fairy tale.
No, they started doing that. And they also really grabbed a lot of the Disney stuff. So
Mhm.
like
They did Frozen.
Yeah, they had Elsa from Frozen in it.
Well, that's actually based on an actual fairy tale, right?
Yes, it is.
No,
The Snow Queen.
Barely.
Yeah, but
They did closer to the fairy tale part than
Right. Okay.
Disney did.
well,
But
yeah, because they had Elsa, and then they had the Ice Queen
yeah,
in the same arc.
Yeah.
because they were.
and then
the
it was good. I like what they did with Peter Pan. I thought that was pretty.
Oh, yeah,
making
Peter
Peter
Pan.
Pan a villain, that was really
Yeah.
really smart.
I like the sentient shadow, and I thought all that stuff was good. They'll have these points where it's just like, you remember why you like that show, but like 95% of the time you're just like, crap.
Yeah, like I really like some of the morality shifts. Like Hook was being a good guy was good. Arthur being a bad guy was kind of foreseeable but good.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
liked his redemption in where he takes over. They call it Underbrook, which is basically Hades, because he was supposed to save a kingdom. So they put him in charge of that.
I just missed some of the characters that they brought in, like some of the storylines, because they had like the romance between Mulan and Sleeping Beauty that they never really did anything with.
Yeah.
And then Little Red Riding Hood just disappeared for 2 or 3 seasons and then showed back up. They did a lot of weak stuff in that show.
Okay. We've touched on some of them, but what are some of the tropes of a fairy tale?
Damsel in distress.
Damsel in distress, right? Now, is that something that can be? Well, it was damsel in distress, but they've also said that in a way that the men need just as much saving as that the men kind of fumble their way through saving the damsel.
Yeah, I always kind of looked at it as the women need physical saving, where the men need like emotional or mental saving.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Evil stepmothers.
Yeah, they classify that as bad bosses: the kings, queens, ogres, witches, stepmothers, stuff like that. I would classify 30-30 into this anthropomorphic personifications.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
waiting.
guess talking animals and such.
Yeah, talking trees, that kind of thing.
Talking horse with a gun.
You got to go through crap to come out to get something good at the end.
Yep. Also, be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
There's always that.
Fairy ex machina.
Yeah. The curse is important. There's
Yes.
always a curse of some kind.
Not always, but it's always a key It's a key factor in a lot of them.
And then the last one I wrote down was don't go in the woods.
Yes.
Into the woods.
So that brings me back to what I brought up earlier. Is a lot of them revolving around witches in the woods, Little Red Riding Hood having to go through the woods, the woods around the Beast's castle. Is that a lot of like, look, we're back in the village again. We got my whiteboard. We're back in the village again around a campfire.
We have a whiteboard in a village?
Yes.
This M. Night Shyamalan
We're
village?
we're very progressive in this village. So does that go back to like, look, kid, don't be playing. Look, Junior, don't be playing in the woods, man. Let me tell you why. I had 2 villages over. They had this little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. Let me tell you this story.
This bitch.
Do you think that's right? I don't know if that's how that.
Okay, in my defense, of Little Red Riding Hood, her mother sends her into the woods to deliver something to her grandmother that lives miles away.
Well, besides the reason why they went in the woods, it's still like Tyler said.
Little Red Riding, this bitch.
I'm just saying. That's how I tell stories to my son.
So,
Listen up, dude.
Little Red Riding.
Listen up,
bitch.
Junior.
that's how I pictured.
And then the thing about Wolf was like, "Be gone, thought."
That's just how I figured they talked to him. Like, hey, Junior, come here, sit on my lap. I got something to tell you.
Oh boy, that was going in the dark direction.
No, okay. Before we get into tonight's homework, did everyone do their homework?
I did my
Ish.
homework.
Ish.
Yes, I have my homework. I just didn't write it down.
All right.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I did do it.
Is there any more things about fairy tales we want to talk? Anything we like about fairy tales? Anything we dislike about fairy tales? Pros, cons? Has anyone ever read Grimm's fairy tales? I
have not read the original Grimm fairy tales. I'm pretty sure a lot of us just always seen the renditions, and like they said, they've really undarkened them a lot from what I've heard.
Yeah, I actually have a copy of Grimm's complete works at home. Nice leather-bound copy.
They got like the golden paint. Yeah, I used to have a copy of
Absolutely.
that.
So I probably could have done the research on this. I didn't really want to. Are their last names genuinely Grimm?
Yeah.
I believe so.
So
yeah.
did the term Grimm meaning like
Things are looking grim.
Yeah. So did that come from those guys? Is that how that's been or?
They were in the. I'm sure that word's been around before because they were in the 1800s. I'm sure that word's been around before them.
Okay. I was just
Well,
wondering.
I'm not a word expert or anything like that, but
I am.
Oh, okay.
it sounds plausible though.
Okay.
It sounds plausible.
Okay. All right. So on to tonight's homework, or anyone else, real quick. Did growing up, did you guys like the Disney ones?
Oh yeah.
Duh.
Well, you grew up with the Disney. That's what you had. You watched Disney.
All right. I remember watching Aladdin a lot.
Yes.
Little Mermaid.
That was a close second.
I don't remember any of the other ones. I know I seen Bambi at one point, but I can't remember.
Nobody likes
Bambi.
Nobody likes Bambi.
Yeah.
I like Bambi.
Bambi's depressing.
It is.
I watched Elvis movies growing up more than anything else.
That's because
John
our
Wayne
mom has
movies.
problems.
You really what?
John Wayne movies.
Oh.
McClintock?
McClintock, North to Alaska.
Okay. Hellfighters?
Don't remember that one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. Getting off. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so I got an answer for our question about Grimm.
Okay.
And apparently, Grimm with double M in German means hooded.
Really?
So they were named after that because your last name comes from a profession or some quality about you. So at some point in their life, someone was hooded in their life, so they were called Grimm. And that's the origin of the word, and it has slowly morphed into today's meaning.
So okay. So like someone can. Yeah. I can see how that could work. Yeah, like a situation's been hooded with mystery, so someone said Grimm. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Grim Reaper
Yeah.
is the hooded Reaper.
Yeah. Are they related to the Grim Reaper?
Yeah, that's his second. That's their second cousin.
Twice removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't make it in the family business,
Yeah.
so that's why they wrote stories.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Cody, you're it.
Okay. My homework was the Villa Catherine. Here
Oh, I guess what I need to describe tonight.
So we know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. So for tonight's homework, I texted. I didn't text. I Facebook messaged each person individually. I hope you all didn't tell what each one was. I gave a person a location or an item, and they had to write like a fairy tale back lore, like a three sentence, or go complete Tipton on it or Adam on it.
There you go.
Yeah. And do like a fairy tale lore. They're all Quincy based. Yeah, they're all Quincy based. So, Cody, you're up first.
My homework was the Villa Catherine. It was built back in near the 1800s by a guy that explored the Middle East for the longest time. And during his travel stuff, he fell in love with the architecture and all that stuff, and so he incorporated that to the design of his home. One of the local legends around the place is he was also building it for him and a woman that he was in love with overseas to live in when they got back to America.
Okay.
The story is either that she decided not to come, or she actually died before she could make it over here.
I like the dying one.
Yeah, people think it's more romantic. And instead of she's just like, I'm not going to go there. Well, anyway, he ended up coming home alone, living in the house by himself with only his 212-pound Great Dane as a companion.
Bingo.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You don't know that.
No, I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Well, anyway,
I just live here. I don't know.
He lived there until the Great Dane died.
Okay.
And then his depression just took over, and his family convinced him to move away. But people say there's a couple stories about the place. One, that there is a ghost dog on the property because they buried the dog on the property, apparently with a bunch of gold.
Diamond encrusted collar.
The diamonds in the collar, stuff like that. And the other one is that they actually see the ghost of a female woman around the place sometimes. And so, using that information, my fairy tale is sort of like she did come with him, but she was dead already, and he could never see her.
Oh, I like it.
Never see her, but they lived in the house, and he never moved on with his life, though. Like, he never, tried to remarry, nothing. So he always covered what he didn't have, but she was there with him in spirit, but he could never see her. And so he just lived his life until the dog died, and he just I can't do this anymore, and moved away, and spent all those years just thinking of what he didn't have, and then what he didn't have when he could have just tried to get something new. Don't hold on to what you wish you still had. Try and live your life to the fullest now. I think that's why she was still there, trying to get him to live his life.
Stop living in the past.
Right.
Oh man, I like it. That was good.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
And then I also got a spin-off Scooby-Doo movie where we
wait, forget that. I do like that. Forget that. Live action or animated? What one are we doing?
There's only one correct answer, Cody.
Of the Villa Catherine. Of the Villa Catherine story.
Huh? We say one.
Either one, I have a follow-up to either one, so it doesn't matter.
I almost say live action.
Who you casting as the dude?
I'm casting as the dude. I'm gonna need 2 actors. I need one for the young man traveling across seas to give you all the backstories. I want
Tom Holland.
No.
Tom Hardy?
No, because he wasn't young. He wasn't young.
Okay.
He was middle age when he was overseas. I would say, I sort of like because he does a good he does a good romantic movie every now and then. Hugh Jackman as the young explorer across the seas and all that stuff.
Okay. Are we talking jacked Hugh Jackman, or are we talking like Swordfish Jackman?
Swordfish Jackson, in between.
Okay. So he's still got the muscle, but he's not.
He's got muscle, but that's just because he lives an active lifestyle. It's not because he's battling sentinels. And
he's farmer ripped.
Farmer ripped.
Okay. Okay. So
well traveled ripped. Like he's not just a layabout.
Okay. So who are you doing, old Jackman?
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Sir, my apologies, sir.
Sir.
Man, we're gonna have to get money to back this up. So
no, it's gonna make money. Because that's your thing. You got Hugh Jackman and Anthony Hopkins in the same movie. Sir Anthony Hopkins in the same movie. Yeah.
Okay, one last casting thing before we move on. The lady. Young lady, old lady. Or it'd be young because she died young, so it'd be young.
Not necessarily young, but somebody who would.
Maybe he's got a thing for old women, old Middle Eastern women.
Katniss from Hunger Games.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She can't play a Middle Eastern woman?
Oh,
I was thinking, who's the one ethnic chick from Modern Family?
Sofia Vergara?
Not like the upbeat funny, but more of a. No. What about? You remember the first Master, the one with Tony Banderas?
Catherine Zeta-Jones. Catherine Zeta-Jones Douglas.
Yes. I do not know the full name,
yes.
But I'm thinking that sort of feel.
Okay. I like it.
I see Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
Behind that, yeah.
See her in entrapment.
But the only bad part about the movie is that the dog's going to be completely CGI.
How come?
Just to throw the wrench in. Like, it's in the contract, like, I'm not going to work with no damn dog, and so they have to CGI the dog.
All right. Okay, so Scooby-Doo movie.
Scooby-Doo spinoff movie,
right.
The Case of the Ghost Dog, and it's a Great Dane meeting another Great Dane, and then there's going to be shenanigans where they're getting the ghost dog, and the ghost dog's not actually evil, he's just like, stay off my property.
So you think, will Matthew Lillard come back to reprise Shaggy?
Duh.
Yeah.
Because I'm only watching if Matthew Lillard comes back as Shaggy. I like it.
He'll do it.
He's the only other Shaggy besides Casey Kasem.
Give or take Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze, but it's got to have Matthew Lillard as Shaggy.
Oh, I was thinking animated for the Scooby-Doo.
Okay, I can go with that too. All right. Okay.
Why mess up a good thing?
Fair enough. I ain't gonna argue that.
I was going to say there's only one correct answer for the Scooby-Doo's animated or live action.
Right.
You didn't like the first one?
Never.
Oh.
You didn't like the evil Scrappy?
If
it wasn't for you meddling sons of...
I loved Scooby-Doo growing up. I hated the live action.
Did you watch the Scooby-Doo Supernatural crossover?
Not yet. I
Oh
want to
my
see it.
gosh.
I heard it's really good.
I thought it was going to be really stupid, then I watched it and I was like, I've thought all those things now that I'm older.
Here's my one wrestling reference. Did you watch the Scooby-Doo meets WWE?
No.
I told you about that.
So I'm not a hipster.
Oh, okay. What about did you like all the incarnations of Scooby? Because I can really only like the 16.
13 Ghosts Scooby-Doo.
Oh my
13
god,
Ghosts
that
was
was
fantastic.
awesome.
They
Vincent
never
Price.
caught all the ghosts.
Yeah.
I liked 13 Ghosts, and I liked Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
That's the original
Yeah,
one,
that's the
right?
original.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you see like the?
Yeah.
It's like the newest one. It's really friggin' dark.
Oh,
It was
the
on-
one where they actually have a continuing storyline?
Yeah, like
Scooby Apocalypse, that one?
yeah.
Yeah,
You
I've got a couple trays of it at home I haven't read yet.
I watched that and I was like, man, this is getting intense. Like,
Okay.
There's time travel and
Wait, you watched it?
yeah, it was a series.
There was a cartoon series
okay.
that was...
I knew the comic book line. I didn't know
we're
it
talking about
was.
two different things then.
Which was kind of funny because they actually put like a lesbianic vibe with Velma and a side character in that series too. You remember that?
Hot dog water.
Yeah, Hot Dog Water. That
Wait,
was
wait,
the
wait,
girl's
wait, wait.
name.
That's
Oh.
what they call her.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because she smells like hot dog water.
Because her dad recycles hot dog water to use in their bathrooms.
Have they just came out and said that Shaggy's a stoner? Are they still dancing around it?
They pretty much all admitted in the movie.
I don't think they admitted it, but everybody knows. Maybe not the kids.
When
but
you go,
have
you
a
know,
suspicion.
Mary Jane, that's like my most favorite name.
Yeah. Okay. All right, who's up next? So
Nose
far,
goes.
we are 1 for 1. I liked it.
Nose goes. That means you.
I didn't go. I don't have homework. I'm the narrator. I'm the fairy godmother in this episode. You're up.
All right. I got.
Beauty before age.
Damn right.
Shit.
My bad.
I got. What'd you give me? Catfish by the bridge.
The giant
The
catfish.
giant catfish
yeah.
by the bridge, because we live next to the Mississippi and there's alien fish in the water.
Well, I got stories about that too.
So, as all good fairy tales start, once upon a time.
Ooh, that came out really good.
I know, right?
Okay.
I've been practicing in my room by myself.
Oh,
No,
Looking at a mirror.
Once upon a time, in a town like any other where nothing extraordinary ever happens, exists a legend. In the muddy water lives a giant catfish that, when caught, will grant one person any wish. For years, people searched and searched with no luck, but one day, a wealthy merchant offered all of his money, don't know why, because he can just catch the fish, to the person who would catch the fish.
Was the fish harming people or something?
No, because if you catch the fish, you get to grant any wish.
Does the people know about it?
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
why it
they're
makes
trying to catch the fish.
that's why it makes no
if
sense.
but if he's going, oh, it makes no sense.
That's
Okay.
why it makes no sense, because
Right,
that's
right.
what happens in fairy tales.
All right, yeah, that's true. Good point.
So, the small town comes to life, and they all go out and search the fish. Now, this fish, besides being a wish-granting fish, was not stupid. Notice by me holding my finger up, that means it's serious. So, this fish had lived for thousands and thousands of years and had outsmarted anyone that had ever tried to catch it. So, back when giants roamed, outsmarted everything. So, for days and days, people waded into the waters by the bridge to try and catch this fish. This fish, being a cunning, magical fish, avoided everybody. You know, dodging hands and...
Whoa, wait a minute. This is at the base of a bridge, man. There ain't no one noodling by the base of the bridge.
It's been
It's a fairy
Oh,
tale.
all right, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know what? No one's bashing
I know.
Cody.
I'm being a dick. Sorry.
Mine was more of a romantic
You are
fairy
what you eat,
tale,
I guess.
loss
What?
and sorrow.
So
Nobody
you're
can
being a dick.
disrespect
So
that.
you are what you eat.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so for days and days, people try and catch this fish, and they all, you know, assume that it's true just because some dude's offering them money for it. So then people started to be like, you know what? There's no damn fish. I'm tired of wasting my time. I got to go back and work in the salt mines. So everyone leaves. So then there's this kid, this maybe 10 years old, and he's wading out in the water. He's got a crappy little toy net, and he's gonna catch this fish. He's gonna outsmart this fish. So this fish is chilling in the water, sees everyone leave, except for this one kid that's just determined beyond all belief. And so finally, this fish is like, you know what? This kid's got it. So the fish swims into the net, lets the kid catch it. He's giving this kid all the determination. He decides, you know what? This kid's going to be it. So the kid raises the net out of the water, and he starts walking on dry land, and he walks the complete opposite way of the merchant with all the money, and this kid just gets this evil smile on his face. So basically, it's your reverse morality fairy tale. The catfish went for the kid that he assumed was going to do the right thing.
Oh, the catfish's been catfished.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your catfish, you know, he's like, oh, he's an unassuming kid, whereas the kid's like, I'm smart, I'm going to trick this guy.
But can't the catfish be like, well, fine, you catfished me, so I'm not granting
No.
your wish?
No, that's not how it works. That's
Oh.
not how the laws of wish granting work.
Okay.
Phenomenal cosmic powers, can't use them for myself.
Itty bitty living space.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. I went more of like they were like evil fish, because during the Boomtown days of Quincy, they were eating all the mafia people that were being thrown into the river.
So they became mafia fish?
Yeah.
It used to be called Little Chicago.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Who would you
Who would I
cast?
cast as the fish?
Yes.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Who
I take from you your net. I cast you out.
who would you cast at?
I just really love that scene.
Who would you cast as the kid? Tom Holland?
What is it?
I think he's used it as a running joker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's a good 10-year-old actor?
The kid from Modern Family.
Which one?
I don't know.
Now you're just copying me.
God, there's like a fly in the room.
That guy's been messing with us
What,
all
what,
day.
what, Daniel? Daniel can't breathe. Are you okay?
What set this off?
I cast you out. I didn't think anybody was going to get that part.
Okay, now that I think about it, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
My fairy tale may not have been good, but that part saved it right there.
I liked it. I liked it.
Who would you cast as the merchant?
As the merchant?
Right, while Daniel recovers, we're just gonna let
Hugh Jackman. Because the merchant was based on George Metz, who built the Villa Gafford.
Oh, so are we doing a connected universe?
Yeah.
So is this
Doing the QCEU.
Oh. Hang on, guys. He's almost here. Let's keep
Give it a good 20 minutes.
Let's keep treading water while Daniel recovers.
Hopefully we'll catch a magical catfish.
That's amazing.
Don't give Tyler too much credit, because then his head won't
That
ever.
pun was great. That was such a
Dude,
great
I'm not
pun.
egotistical. I just know.
This fly is rather cocky. I'm like touching it and it won't.
Yeah, he's been here all day.
Okay.
Let him live.
No.
Maybe it's your anthropomorphic fly from your fairy tale.
Oh.
That could be your fairy godmother.
Speaking of Disney, before we get to Daniel, speaking of Disney, like fan theories, have you guys seen Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the witch that turns them all into animals.
Oh, are you talking about the one about the
fly.
spider and the fly?
Yeah.
How? Okay. Why are they talking? Are they actually people that are transformed?
So yeah, so one, there's like cannibalism. So like as the spider approaches the fly and the fly is saying help me, and the spider says too late or something and eats it. So it's like cannibalism.
That.
I'm
Why would it be cannibalism if they're two different?
I'm
if
just
they've been trained?
I'm just treading water while Daniel recovers.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay,
Good. I'm sorry. The cast you out with a fish. Cast someone. I'm sorry. That worked for me on so many levels.
Please don't give him too much credit.
Tyler's maybe my new favorite person.
You son of a bitch.
You wasn't it either.
You what?
You wasn't the first one.
You son of a bitch. God, my feelings are being hurt all over the place.
It's
Alright.
bad to tell you that Snyder's not here.
Yeah.
A little less aggressive on Adam.
Hey, by the way, people of the podcast, I'm wearing one shirt.
There you
Snot
go,
3
so-
pairs of pants.
Snyder, when you listen, I'm wearing one shirt. Okay. He doesn't listen, don't worry about it.
Okay, so where are we at?
Your homework.
Oh, my fairy tale. So my fairy tale was the caves below Quincy.
Yes.
And since we're doing the connected Quincy fairy verse,
Oh, are you ad-libbing right now?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Little improv. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, so since we're doing the connected fairy verse for Quincy, so the caves underneath Quincy were all built as an elaborate attempt to hide something in Quincy. Is a giant maze of labyrinths and sections that go down and self-terminate, and it's you're never going to find the center of the tunnels beneath Quincy. And down there, there is something that the people who founded Quincy put there to keep safe. And this particular thing in the center of the tunnels of Quincy has a strange effect on the dead, where things like women and dogs don't rest.
Yes, I like it.
So the man who built the Villa Catherine, when his dog died, decided that if they could have this thing could have an effect on the dead, and maybe he could communicate with them finally. And that's where he rests today, as he went into the tunnels and no one heard or seen of him.
To find his love.
To find his true love.
Oh my God.
To speak to her one last time using this powerful stone. I'd buy that.
So okay, what is a stone though? Nothing. Do we say what the stone is, or are we just like is it part of the meteorite that lands in Wakanda?
Maybe, could be. You could say there's this gem that has the power of souls somewhere in Quincy. Maybe
We have the soul gem.
We have the soul.
No, because that's copyrighted.
Yeah.
We have
The Soul Pebble.
Soul Pebble. Oh man. Okay, so it's a trilogy. So we start off with Cody's flick, okay, and then
we don't actually. If that's the case, we don't have Sir Anthony Hopkins in this movie. It's more of the love story, and then sort of building up the mysticism of the town. And then Anthony Hopkins is going to be in his movie, where it showed years later, where he's last-ditch effort to get the wishing fish.
Because that's why he's trying to get the fish, so he can figure out how to
wish
get to the stone.
to wish
Yeah.
or wish his wife back in existence.
No, because he's read Pet Sematary.
Oh, okay.
But if we're doing this, then I want to include one of the last things that Metz actually said about the Villa Catherine.
Okay.
And that's when it's like all falling down, falling apart, and he goes to it one more time and he goes, I wish I owned it just so I could tear the damn thing apart.
But he never owned it?
No, he owned it.
He owned it, but when he got depressed because the dog died, he sold it.
Yeah, he moved to the
Oh.
Lincoln Douglas Hotel, and then the railroad wanted to buy it, and so they sent two people as a couple to convince him to sell it to them, and they were going to demolish it, and then the deal fell through, so then the railroad didn't do anything with it. So then it became private housing, and then he came back to it, and then
It became like a rent-controlled apartment complex?
yeah. And then
They didn't really do much damage to it, did they? Or was there a lot of restoration?
there was a lot of restoration. And
Oh, okay.
then it sat, and then in the 70s, a group of people, the Park District owned it, and then a group of people...
What are you, like a Quincy nerd? How do you know all this?
I worked there.
You worked at the Villa Catherine?
Yeah.
When?
Like
Oh,
in the summer.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's
Donna
probably
here.
why you only knew about the Villa Catherine. You probably told him this
No, I got
years
married
ago.
I
Yeah.
got married at the Villa Catherine.
Yeah.
You should
but-
have gave him that homework.
so-
He knows so much
Yeah,
more
because
than
you know
me.
that little reflecting pool in the
Yeah,
middle?
uh-huh.
That was filled with concrete, and they had to chip all that out.
Yeah.
And you could go into the basement, and there used to be a crank, and you would crank this, and then the glass dome at the top of the building would open up.
Huh.
You
Okay.
open up all the windows, and it creates a cross breeze. The breeze from the water blows across the reflecting pool inside, and it was basically air conditioning.
So join us on our next Villa Catherine podcast.
There you go.
Okay, so we go from the fish one. So how does that one end that leads into Daniel's? So the fish walks away, but so basically during yours he's
That's
sorry.
how it ends. The kids steal the fish. The Sir Anthony Hopkins gets the fish and wishes for, okay, I want to speak with my wife one more time. And the wish that the fish grants, because the fish got screwed over, said, okay, well, if you want to talk to your wife, you have to go into the tunnels beneath Quincy, and there's a stone, and you have to go find it.
Is there a Minotaur in the tunnels?
There has to be.
There you go. I'm bought. Yep. I got $20.
That's
Set
an
that
old-
down.
Really?
$20.
I
Let's do
like the Minotaur myth, but that was really loud. I like the Minotaur myth, but isn't that kind of like a cliche with caves though?
It's a little bit of a cliche with the labyrinth and maze and stuff, but it's better than a troll living in the sewers.
What if there's a graboid?
Graboid.
What if there's a graboid in the cave?
What is a graboid?
Tremors.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if there's a graboid, then there has to be an ass blaster.
Well, yeah, duh. That goes well.
Oh, are you saying that because they're doing another Tremors movie?
That's in
That's
the
right.
news. That's for later. So what time period are we setting this in?
It's the early 1900s because that's when it all happened.
I mean, we can clearly there isn't a talking catfish, so we can easily miff the time.
Yeah, but that's
Well-
when he built the house.
That's when he built the house, and that actually makes more sense time-wise when he did all this traveling, because you travel nowadays, it's sort of, like it's a bad place to be traveling, just
Yeah, not
going
exactly a
for
place you want to send the dude to in the Middle East to.
Because
Okay.
then you get political and war drama and all that stuff.
Okay, so let's go over our tropes. Do we have anthropomorphic personification with the talking catfish?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have the dog talk at all to him? No.
No. Well, after the dog dies, maybe.
Okay. No, nothing in your story, right?
The Minotaur.
Are we going with the Minotaur?
Hell yeah, we're going with the
You
Minotaur.
have to have a Minotaur.
But how do you explain the Minotaur in Quincy?
It was the guardian of the stone.
And
Yeah.
it went with the
They
stone.
brought the stone from Germany when the German settlers settled Quincy.
Yeah. It was
Even
one
though
of-
English settlers came first and then the Germans kicked them out.
All
there
right,
you go.
history
You
nerd.
could go like 1945 and say that they evacuated the stone from Germany because of the Nazis.
Fucking Nazis.
Blaming the Nazis.
Fucking
Okay.
Nazis.
Do we have any bad bosses?
I hate Illinois Nazis.
Bad bosses.
Death.
Yeah, we actually got a bad boss free in the.
Well, we got death.
Yeah.
Time and death. Those could be figuratively what's holding him back.
Okay. Be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
How explain?
Like, yeah, he's gonna see his wife again, but he's gonna see the girl he's in love with, but he's gonna die in the process.
And he's completely thrown away his life trying to.
Right.
Okay. A curse. No.
Yeah, the rock underneath Quincy. The power of the dead.
Okay. Damsel in distress. No,
The fish.
The fish. Oh, fish's lady.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sir Anthony Hopkins. Sir Anthony Hopkins as Madam Fish.
Yeah.
Wait. Hopkins is the fish?
Yeah.
Then we can't have Hopkins as the old Jackman.
No,
dude.
it's
He
that,
can
that's
voice
the
the
thing.
fish.
He voices the fish, and he's also himself.
kind of like Doctor Strange is Cumberbatch doing Dormammu.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't go in the woods.
Don't go into the caves because you're gonna get lost.
So we have to work the caves in. Maybe the caves are brought in during that is kind of brought into the story for the quarry
You have
for
an
the.
interesting out for that too, because the reason we have so many caves underneath Quincy right now is because it was, like you said, a mining operation for salt and stuff, and then what was left over they just built into space.
Okay.
Limestone.
Limestone. Sorry.
I'm saying it to him because he keeps making fun of me because I know things.
Okay.
I wasn't correcting you.
You do know an awful lot about this town.
Yeah.
Don't let him. He's a history major.
You are?
Yeah. Look what I got to do with it.
You get to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was actually a lot cooler than I thought.
God, son of a bitch. I thought he was gonna hit me because I made fun of him.
No, I finally got the fly that's been bothering us for like
I just
6 hours.
Pissed all over your floor. Sorry, Daniel.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It was a perfect opportunity. He was right there. I didn't want to alert him that I was going after him.
Fly down.
Okay.
Sorry. Ooh. Was that loud?
A little bit. It's fine.
Apologies, headphone users.
We're still working the bugs out.
The bugs out that he just killed.
Yeah.
Still
Not
not
as
as
good
good
as
as my
Cast
cast you
Out.
out.
Not as good as the cast out.
Okay, so that was actually kind of cool. I did not expect a connected universe. So on to pass tonight's homework to tonight's topic: the difference between Disney and Grimm's. I'm just going to spout out some titles. I don't know the difference. I had to look it up. TheOdysseyOnline.com is where I'm getting this information.
Okay, real quick. Are we just talking about the adaptations of Grimm's, or are we going to do all the fairy tales that Disney's done?
This website is just Grimm's and Disney.
Okay.
If you got any more, pull them out real quick.
Well, because some of the Disney ones aren't Grimm. Some of them are Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh yeah, well I guess right here I just proved my Little Mermaid's first one.
Yeah, so Little Mermaid's Hans
So
Christian Andersen.
this
so
website
that's
so
this
Frozen.
website has lying to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Not even close.
Brave?
What?
Not Brave.
I don't think Brave's based off anything.
Yeah, Brave is based off of the Bear Daughter. Bear It's got a German name.
I just
Beardeute,
I just
think.
googled Disney movies based on fairy tales and I went down the list.
Okay, Little Mermaid.
That is like, whoa, the adaptations they did to that.
So, real quick, a recap of the Disney. Little Mermaid saves a dude,
Prince Eric.
falls in love with the dude,
Prince Eric.
wants has infatuation with the dude.
Prince Eric.
Wants to go on land with the dude.
Prince Eric.
Ursula sets up a deal. I will give you legs to go with the dude.
Prince Eric.
But I'm going to take away your voice box.
Right.
So that magic is done. She goes up on land where she is found by
The dog.
Oh yeah. so they kind of have a small little courtship, but then Ursula with Ariel's voice manipulates
Eric.
into a relationship, and then those two, don't they end up marrying each other?
They're going to get married.
They're going to get married, and then how does she end up back in the ocean? I don't remember how Ariel ends up back.
They get married on a boat.
Who does?
Ursula's trying to marry Eric on a boat.
No, when Ursula becomes this gigantic thing, doesn't Ariel have her tail back? Because she goes.
Yeah, because she strips the magic from her, I think. Yeah, because like she was gonna go like, oh, well, stop Ursula, and Ursula's like, no, and takes her legs from her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Prince Eric
rams Ursula with a broken
sunken ship that somehow is now seaworthy.
Yeah, because
Right.
Poseidon raises it.
No,
Ursula.
Triton. It's King Triton.
Yeah, and King Triton's a little
Oh, you're right. It's King Triton.
loopy thingy.
Yeah, and King Triton doesn't have any power right there.
Because she takes his...
Oh,
like,
that's right.
She does
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whirlpool,
yeah.
and then the boat comes back up to you. Yeah.
Oh, that was terrifying. Okay, how does so that happens? Ariel saves him again. Saves.
Prince Eric.
Then at the end? So Ursula's dead. The conflict's over. How does Ariel get back with
Prince Eric.
at the end?
The father says, I love her and I want her to be happy, and then uses his magic to give her legs.
Okay. Now, in the original Hans Christian Andersen, when she gets the legs, it causes her massive pain every time she takes a step.
Because she dances for him, and that's why he falls in love with her. And so she puts herself through all this pain so that he'll fall in love with her.
And then he ends up, Prince Eric, or I don't remember what the actual prince's name is, but the prince in Hans Christian Andersen ends up marrying his original love. Ariel, or the Little Mermaid, ends up she dies and turns into sea foam.
Yep.
Well, she dies. Well, the Sea Witch gives her a choice that she can go to the prince, and if she kills the prince, then she'll become a mermaid again. Because in the story, mermaids have a longer lifespan than humans,
300 years.
but they don't have an eternal soul. So in one of the, I don't know if it's in the original adaptation or a different one, like she's given another chance after she dies. She becomes like this earth spirit and basically hangs out in purgatory where she has to do good deeds for 300 years, and then she can go to heaven.
Okay. Would that make a good Disney movie?
No, that sounds horrifying. She doesn't get with the prince at the end, then she just lives in purgatory for over 300 years. Yeah.
Is she a hot redhead? Voiced by Judy Benson.
I mean, I'm in.
He was like, I don't care.
What
Okay.
about her happiness? That's what I've always enjoyed.
Not
Which
everything has to be a happy
she gets
ending.
a chance at an eternal soul.
Okay, Disney is based on happy endings. That cannot be a Disney movie, at least not back when they originally made it.
All right. Okay, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, Jesus.
I have never seen Sleeping Beauty, so let's recap it. Tyler, you apparently wrote it down, so recap it real quick.
King has a baby, invites the whole kingdom, doesn't invite Maleficent, which is a no-no. She curses the baby. They hide the baby in the woods. Baby grows up. Baby pricks her finger, falls asleep. Maleficent turns into a dragon. Prince saves woman. The end.
True Love's Awakens Sleeping Beauty.
The True Kiss.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, in the original, the kiss didn't wake her up. He like drops her off the carriage or something, and it dislodges the. Or is that Cinderella?
That's Snow White.
That's Snow White. Son of a. Anyway, go ahead.
No, Sleeping Beauty, if I remember correctly, is a lot darker. And
I like where this is going.
There is
I like-
a lot
she
more
gets-
than just a kiss.
I like
She
this.
gets
Oh
raped.
no way!
Yeah.
Wait, is that in here? Really? Wow.
Yeah, so in one version, like, they can't avoid it.
Would that story fly in today's
No.
society?
Don't even
Oh yeah,
try.
I'm taking my kid to see that one.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
50
sorry.
Shades of Sleep. So like she gets put under this curse, but the curse is only she sleeps for 100 years. So there's like 6 fairies instead of 3 in this one, and so like they put the whole entire castle and everything on like to sleep for 100 years.
Okay.
And then everybody wakes up and just goes about their business like nothing happened. And this dude like
Prince Eric.
no, not him. Like rapes her while she's sleeping. She gives birth to twins. One of the babies who's somehow
While
still
she's
alive.
asleep?
Yeah.
Man, this is messed up.
One of the twins like starts sucking on her finger
Yeah.
and like pulls like a splinter out of her finger, which caused her to fall asleep. So then she wakes up, finds out she has twins. This king comes and like
Isn't that the cause of the problem?
So then the king's still married to somebody else. So
Whoa! Like, all joking aside, so the dude that had sex with the sleeping lady remarried or
No, he
married
was
someone?
already married.
Oh,
Are we
And
still
so
there?
then his
we're still here.
his wife demands that
All
his
kinds of
illegitimate
problems, yeah.
children are brought to her. She tells their cook to cook the kids to feed to her husband. The cook like switches them out for like lamb or something. So like the king's sitting there eating this food and she's like, "Yep, it's just amazing, isn't it? It's one of your own." And so then the king finds out what happens, kills his wife, and lives happily ever after with a woman.
The Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Is that Briar Rose?
Yeah.
It's Briar Rose.
Yeah.
What did Jacob and William happen to them as kids that these kids get like?
I don't think they came up with the stories.
Oh, they just.
I think they
translated them?
just traveled around and were told, and then they just wrote it all down. I don't think they came up with all these morality tales.
So what's the morality there? Don't have sex with a sleeping woman?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The guy wins.
Yeah, what is the morality there?
Don't fuck around on your wife. Like, don't, like, because the wife got super pissed off and was going to make repercussions at him.
Don't be the
Kill
wife that
the-
finds out.
Don't kill your cheating husband's illegitimate children?
Was any of that in the Jolie Maleficent movie?
No, that was
None of it was? It was all
None of
Disney?
it.
that was like a rape story.
Wow. That was a rape? They actually had rape
No, it was similar because they cut off her wings. They're building this kingdom.
So they made Maleficent as kind of the I'm the way I am, because Maleficent in Disney is a horrible person, right? She's the
in
evil.
the cartoon.
She's evil.
In the remake, she was like misunderstood.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I actually really, really like the Maleficent movie.
If
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's like what they tried to do with Freddy Krueger in the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, make him like that maybe all the kids that were saying he was.
But that was a red herring anyway. They made that into a. He's like, no, I did it.
Yeah. Stop making bad guys into misunderstood. They're just bad guys.
Jason's just misunderstood.
No, he's not.
Well, to me, I think that makes a more interesting villain. I mean, no one is evil in their own eyes. Everyone is the hero of their own story. So, all of these people doing evil things, they have a legitimate motive for it.
Is there a bad guy in any medium that is generally like, yeah, dude, I'm a bad guy? Is there a bad guy that enjoys being a bad guy? And not because he's a beat dog and he's like, yeah, I'm a bad guy, but because like he just like from childbirth like, yeah, I'm a bad guy.
Lex Luthor in Smallville says, I am the villain of this story.
Yeah.
That's all I got going for
What
me.
about the Joker?
But
The Joker's still sees himself as an avatar of chaos. I mean, that's what Heath Ledger says, but it's very true all the same.
Okay. All right. Peter Pan. Peter Pan comes into a window with these kids trying to find his shadow. The
Yeah.
kids wake up, find him, help him get his shadow. says, "Why don't you come with me
Off to Neverland.
off to Neverland?" First star and to the right.
Second star.
Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Okay.
Matt Pat found where that is.
I saw that episode.
Yeah,
I really
did too.
enjoyed
I don't
it.
remember anything, but I remember seeing it because it was when Hugh Jackman's movie was coming out, right?
Please follow us, Matt Pat.
Yeah.
I say we do. We really love you and stuff.
Yeah. Then they go to Neverland, where there's adult pirates, native, yeah, and then there's the Lost Boys because they're all separate.
Mermaids.
They're all separate people, right?
Mermaids, yes.
Mermaids. There's a crocodile. They fight Hook for a little bit, and then they end up going back to because Wendy and the kids want to see their mom again.
Yes.
They go back.
I miss my mother.
And then Peter's like, okay, you see your mom, let's go. And Wendy's like, oh, I can't go. And then until she grows up, doesn't Wendy go with him?
No, they just stay there and that's it.
Okay. Well, in the original story, it's a little more different. So when Peter returns for his shadow on an evening when the parents are away, he accidentally wakes up Wendy. He tells Wendy about Neverland and the Lost Boys, who were babies that had fallen out of their carriages and were never found again. Wendy and her brothers fly with Peter to Neverland, and a jealous Tinkerbell convinces the Lost Boys to shoot down Wendy with an arrow. Wendy is thought to be dead, but the kiss around her neck had saved her. When Wendy, John, Michael, and the Lost Boys plan to return to the Darlings' home, the pirates capture the kids and want to make Wendy their mother. Peter finds out and begins to kill the pirates off one at a time. Captain Hook winds up throwing himself off his own ship to kill himself and is eaten by a crocodile. The kids return to Darling's house except for Peter, and the Lost Boys are adopted by the family. Wendy visits Peter once a year to clean his house and tries to convince him to see her more as a mother. As Wendy gets older, she loses her ability to fly and cannot go with Peter anymore. She has her own daughter, Jane, who flies off with Peter for spring cleaning. When Jane grows up, her daughter, Margaret, takes over the cleaning and also continues to tell Peter the stories he likes hearing so much.
I read the book a long time ago, and the only part that stuck with me is there's a scene, or there's a dialogue where it says that every time a child breathes in Neverland, an adult dies, and Peter is mad at Wendy because she wants to go home. So he storms out of the tree that they live in and just starts taking like really rapid breaths just to start killing adults because he's so pissed off.
So how many people is in Neverland?
Every time you breathe in Neverland, you kill an adult in the real world.
I mean, think about how many times we've breathed just now. So
yeah,
there'd be a lot of deaths.
There is a lot of death.
People die every day.
Yeah. All right. Isn't there something in there? There's also something. I saw something like a theory to where Peter Pan is like a murderer because he kills the kids. There's something in it. I don't think it's on this page, but I remember seeing it. It may have been a Matt Pat thing. Who would go accompany the? Yeah, Peter was a boy. The 1904. Peter was a boy who lived with fairies and would accompany dead children part of the way to wherever they would go.
He's basically a ferryman.
Yeah, but something like he would also kill the kids who decided to grow up, or Peter was the only one who couldn't grow up. All the other Lost Boys still aged, and when they reached a certain age and they couldn't escape, Peter would just flat out kill them.
You see, I kind of remember that because I seem to remember like Peter treating Neverland like a prison for the people who went there. Yeah. Almost, I do kind of remember that.
And there was also that theory that in the Frog Prince, the voodoo guy who had all the shadow people,
Dr. Facilier,
that the shadow people was Peter and some of the Lost Boys.
Yeah. That's a little bit far.
I've never seen it. I just know the dude's name.
Okay. Also, I do know this: the name Wendy was made up for this novel and has now become at the time was one of the most popular girl names.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
Huh.
Moving on. Let's do some quick shots here. Pinocchio. One of the major differences is that Jimmy Cricket is killed. Pinocchio steps on him. but he still reappears later on as a story as a ghost. Another difference is that when the puppet first meets the blue fairy, I don't know who's the blue fairy.
The one that makes him able to move around.
Oh, okay. She tells him she's actually dead and waiting for a hearse. With all his troubles and poor choices, Pinocchio is left to die quite a few times. The original version seems to have many more talking animals than the cartoon, and it of course had more violence. The voice of Jiminy Cricket was voiced by the actor from Hannibal, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Isn't Robert Downey Jr. supposed to be Geppetto in the new Pinocchio movie?
That's been rumors for a while, though. I don't think it's going on anymore, is it?
Not that I'm aware of, but that would be all right.
Okay.
Just have Robert Downey Jr. making another person who complains about strings on him.
Nice.
He's an Iron Man Pinocchio.
Okay, moving on.
So Pinocchio needed was foot
He's in,
thrusters.
he's just. It's the mirror scene of him in the cave. He's just standing there with a piece of wood and a hammer. Just.
I'm so into that.
The scene gets me hard. Sorry.
Anyway, moving on. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Dame or Dame?
Oh yeah.
Notre Dame.
Notre
You
Dame.
weren't even close with the Grimm fairy tales because
None of these are
only
Grimm.
one of these are Grimm fairy tales.
Well, I skipped a lot of them, so we're running out of time, so I'm skipping a lot of them to pass. Okay, we'll revisit this when Snyder's here,
I
since
ain't
this is
talking about
Snyder's
the good
idea.
ones, like the really horrible ones.
Oh,
Talk
Hunchback-
about Hunchback of Notre Dame. You shut your mouth.
That one's horrible too.
Here we go. Far from the happy ending of the Disney retelling, the original story ends with Esmeralda being hung by Frollo, Quasimodo killing Frollo, and then he starves to death over the body of Esmeralda. Other differences include Quasimodo actually being deaf from how loud the bells are, and the fact that he is really mean to everyone because everyone else treats him so poorly. Frollo is actually a priest who made a deal with the devil, which Disney had to change because of problems that could have caused with intended audiences.
Yeah, now Frollo's just a
Horny
gypsy
guy.
molester, yeah.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Gypsy molester, what do you mean?
He sings a song about how he's horny.
Yeah, that song.
I
in
need
the-
to rewatch it.
that song in the church where he's singing to her and like smelling her hair.
Hellfire.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hellfire. Yeah, he's
You
like.
can't sing anymore. We'll get sued by Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I can't say it's his whole thing. Like, oh, he's supposed to be this old righteous man, but he's like he's talking about how her dancing awakened a desire in him.
Basically says, sleep with me or you're screwed.
Marry me.
This would make a really good live action movie. I mean, I know it
They've
has,
made a few, yeah.
but I mean, like now is what I'm trying to say. I think it would be
I would totally watch it. Hunchback of Notre Dame's always been one of my favorites
okay.
of the Disney movies.
And the last one we'll do real quick. Fox and the Hound.
No.
No, okay. Let's
Do Cinderella. That one's depressing.
Cinderella. Okay, Cinderella.
Oh yeah, that's a big one we should probably talk about.
Cinderella.
Snow White's bad too.
Yeah,
do
so is
it-
Aladdin.
Do a quick recap of Snow White or Cinderella. Sorry.
Woman has evil stepmother, mean sisters, gets fairy godmother, goes to ball, loses shoe, finds husband.
Okay. In the Grimm's version, there's no fairy godmother. There's a wishing tree.
Planted by her mom's grave.
Yep. The father's also still alive and still allows the treachery with his new wife and stepdaughters.
Because he's a douche.
Oh, that's horrible.
'Cause he says that he's my first wife's daughter.
Uh-oh, my thing just crashed. Hang on.
Story of your life.
I do remember that the stepdaughter is when the prince comes with the shoe,
They
do
cut
all
off-
sorts of crazy things to try and get their feet
Cut off
to-
their toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut off their toes, mangle their feet.
There's 3 different balls. There's not one. And the very last one, the prince covers the stairs in like tar, and that's how she loses her shoe.
Yeah, because she keeps running away from him.
Don't
Yeah,
they get their eyes stabbed out too, right? The
'cause
stepsisters.
the tree that she visits, there's no fairy godmother, so like 2 birds from heaven will bring her whatever she wishes for. So at the wedding, the sisters go to the wedding, and at the first part of the wedding, the 2 birds come down and they pluck out one of their eyes, and then while they're leaving, they pluck out the other one.
See, with gritty reboots, I'm surprised that wasn't in the gritty reboot.
It was in Into the Woods.
Really?
Yeah.
Who stars in that?
A lot of people. It's a musical mashup of
Oh,
a
I ain't
bunch of fairy
watching it.
tales.
I ain't watching it.
It was actually really good. I really liked it.
Okay. Oh, that's the Johnny Depp one, right? Johnny Depp's in it?
He's in it for like a small part, and he's like a molesting wolf.
So he played himself.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a joke. I do not promote that. Anyway.
Snow White's depressing.
Yeah, let's do Snow White. Okay, it's right here, so let's do it. Quick recap. Anyone want to do it? I've never seen it, so I don't know. Wait, that's
You ever
Seven
seen
Dwarfs
Snow
one?
White?
No,
Yeah.
not really. I don't think so.
Evil stepmother. Who's the fairest in the land? Snow White is. I want her dead.
Well, they weren't related, but yeah.
No. What?
They weren't.
They weren't related.
No, there wasn't an evil stepmother. Okay.
No, it was just the evil queen.
Evil queen. She's prettier than me. I want her dead.
Yeah.
Huntsman doesn't want to do it. Fakes it. She run as fast as you can. Runs through the dark forest. Comes across the house. Breaks and enters. Decides just sleep. 7 small men.
They're
Which is not
dwarves.
easy.
Yeah,
They're
7
fantasy dwarves.
7 small men find her. They work out a deal for she'll clean the house as in lieu of rent, and they'll let her stay there.
Okay.
Evil queen finds out that she's still alive, disguises herself, tries to kill. Doesn't kill. Magic kiss.
Puts her poison apple.
Poison apple puts her
Goes
to sleep.
to sleep. Okay.
Tries to kill her 3 different times in the story.
The evil queen was originally written as Snow White's biological mother. She still wants to kill her. Later on, the Grimms rewrote it as her stepmother. The evil queen wants the huntsman to cut out Snow's lungs and liver so that she can eat them. The prince doesn't kiss Snow White to awaken her. Instead, his servants are forced to carry her coffin back with him. One of the servants strikes the maiden out of anger for having to carry her around, and this causes the poison apple piece to be dislodged from Snow's throat. Yep. So,
Tries to kill her 3 different times.
also the evil queen is punished by being forced to dance with red-hot iron shoes until she dies.
Yeah, because she goes to the wedding.
Yeah.
Why cut out the lungs and heart?
Yeah, lungs, heart, and liver, I think, is what it is.
Well, why does she
And-
want to eat those?
Eat them with some nice candy.
Fava beans.
Yeah, just because
Just
she's
to
evil,
eat
to show
and-
how evil she is.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, and if I remember right, the huntsman kills a pig, a deer, and brings her back the heart, liver, and lungs of whatever the wild animal he kills is.
I just like in the story, they made her a little bit smarter. Like, she tricks her twice. Like, one time she gives her, like, fancy ribbons and basically ties her up so she can't breathe. Second time, she combs her hair with, like, a poison comb. And then the third time, she tries to give her an apple, and then Snow White's like, wait a minute. So, like, she makes her eat the apple, but she eats, the unpoisoned part. So then she's like, okay. At least made her smarter than, here, I'll just eat this apple.
Okay.
What else we got?
That's it.
Yep.
Any quick ones you guys want to talk about before we move on to the post podcast trivia?
Frog Prince was bad.
Okay.
It's a short fairy tale. Prince comes. The snooty princess finds a frog, picks up the frog, throws it against the wall. Frog becomes prince.
That's how it.
That was the original fairy tale.
Okay.
I have no idea what the morality lesson was.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, don't look things. I don't know. Don't take things at face value.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, that was messed up. I looked that one up. Yeah.
She gets locked in a tower. Prince finds her, knocks her up. Woman throws.
Wait. She gets pregnant in the tower.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
yep.
the prince
I didn't
brings
know
her
that.
up. She brings up the prince at night, and then they do it, and then they find out. So then her mother finds out that she's pregnant, casts her out, pulls the prince up. The prince is distraught, jumps out of the tower, lands in thorns, so then he loses all sight.
Yes.
Finds Rapunzel with his 2 kids, because apparently twins are big in fairy tales. And then she cries, restores his eyesight, and they live happily ever after.
Yeah, she was abandoned in the desert.
I don't
or a
know which
dessert,
one.
depending on.
A dessert. There's
Dessert.
if there's two S's, it was
it
dessert
was a
because you
desert.
want more.
Okay. Anything else real quick before we move on?
Frozen's nothing like the story.
Frozen.
At all.
Well, you guys brought it up. Do a quick recap then.
Yeah.
I just know it's nothing like the story.
Okay.
The only part that I could read and make sense of was that there was like a magic troll mirror that the devil made, but whenever you looked into this mirror, you would see all the worst things.
Yeah.
And the devil had this plan because he ran a troll school, and so they were trying to take the mirror to heaven so that they could make fun of God and all of his angels. So then the mirror,
Really?
yeah,
Oh wow.
the mirror falls and shatters into a billion pieces, and like it lands in people's eyes. So that's why people are so nasty, because like all they see are all the negative things. And then I don't know how that became the Ice Queen or whatever. That's the only part that interested me.
Okay. Why is it in this realm of storytelling? Why are why are elves and trolls always the makers of the tools? Why are they the ones usually in charge of the forge?
Have you ever seen a fairy try to make a sword? Shoddy craftsmanship.
Okay. I mean, in magic, is there a reason for that? Are they just naturally gifted craftsmen? Or?
That's kind of like what the dwarves thing is. Yeah, they're just naturally, like, that's their talent. I don't know. Honestly, I never really thought about where the origin of dwarf craftsmanship came from.
Nimble fingers.
I always wondered because it just seems like they're even in the He-Man cartoons, the guys who forge the sword. Well, in the new comic book, they forge their own sword. The forge is underneath Grayskull. But
Spoilers.
in the '84 cartoon, it was a dwarf as well.
Maybe it goes back to Norse mythology because the dwarves were the forges of Norse mythology.
Yeah.
And Hephaestus.
Well, he wasn't
was
a dwarf.
he
wasn't a dwarf. He was lame. The original term of lame, but he wasn't a dwarf.
Right, but Hephaestus in Greek mythology was the king of the forge, but he was written as, horribly ugly and stocky and long beard, misformed, and kind of all those things that when you think of a dwarf, you kind of think of what Hephaestus is, but large.
Man, we're just answering life's questions tonight.
You know it.
This is like our deepest podcast we've ever had.
I wonder if there's a reason for that, Snyder.
Oh, got him.
Burn.
Got it. He doesn't listen. Okay.
I never said anything about you, Snyder. Just want you to know that.
But yeah, we know who the bromances are. We got me and Daniel.
I got
Yeah.
Cody.
Cody's the third wheel.
Cody's just like, screw
I'm
you,
just-
gay people.
I don't mind. I'm always a third wheel. I like observing.
Now
Okay. All right.
I like observing.
Nothing like a little voyeurism if you're
Whatever
that
you're
kind of
whatever
thing.
you're into. Okay, so the post-podcast trivia. Here we go. In Disney's Sleeping Beauty, who is Prince Aurora's prince?
That's
Prince Charming.
No.
no. Charming is Snow White's.
Prince Henry.
Nope.
I used to know this one.
What's it start with?
P.
Yep.
Philip.
Prince Philip. In Disney's Cinderella, which foot did the glass slipper fall from?
Left.
Really? Did you look at my screen or did you know that?
No, I knew that.
How did you know that?
Because that scene where she's running down the stairs,
Yeah.
she's facing you and it comes off the close foot,
Ah.
which is the left foot.
Okay. In Disney's Frozen, how many brothers does Prince Hans have?
12.
Holy crap, how'd you know that?
I when I first got Frozen, I watched it
12 times.
11 times in a row.
Cody, you need to let it go.
Oh, I get it.
The songs were so catchy, I just kept it on a loop.
It's the song from Frozen.
Oh,
Let
I know.
It Go. Fucking idiot.
Okay, I didn't know there was a song called Let It Go.
How could you not?
What year did that come out?
2013. No.
Like a few years ago, right?
When did Frozen come out?
That's what I was asking. I have no
It's
idea.
been a couple of years
You're
now.
the one that watched it.
Like 2015?
I believe that. That sounds about right. We
Okay.
are going to the Google.
Okay. And while you guys are going to the Google, Which character in Disney films?
2013.
I would have no reason to watch it.
2013.
Wow.
Why would Cody have a reason to watch it 11 times?
That's why I'm
I enjoyed
asking.
it.
I haven't seen the damn movie, and I knew it was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy Disney movies. They're one of my passions.
Everybody does.
I don't.
No one likes you.
Okay.
You're a hipster.
Oh God.
Who hates
true.
Asians?
Which?
It's not trendy to like fairy tales, apparently.
Well, son of a-
I just like fairy tales more than everybody else just like fairy tales.
Which character has the fewest number of lines in a Disney film?
Dopey.
Oh.
He has no lines.
I'm just going by what this website said.
Okay. What movie is it?
Are we
from?
talking main characters then?
Which character has the fewest number of lines in a Disney film?
That doesn't. You know how many Disney films there are?
I'm just going by what the website said.
Okay, what movie is it from, at least? Can you give us that?
I'm assuming the entire Disney collection.
No, what movie is the character from?
Help us
I
narrow
can't
it
tell
down.
you. The name of the character is the name of the movie.
Dumbo.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The
It's gotta
character,
be main character.
The character has 0 lines. Aurora is second with 18 lines, and in the whole entire film of Bambi, there's only 1,000 words spoken.
Huh. Okay.
Huh.
Huh.
In Grimm's Sleeping Beauty, the princess's first name was. She's an actress. She was in Gone Girl. She was a Bond girl.
Starts with a T. I can't even
Nope,
read my writing.
it does not.
I don't know.
Rosamund.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
Rosamund Pike. Gone Girl. Bond girl. Chick from Doom.
Oh, all right.
Messed up.
She's crazy, man.
Gone Girls. That movie.
No.
Yeah.
Ugh.
In Grimm's Snow White. Oh, we already went on. I forgot this was a question. In Grimm's Snow White, how did the Vain Queen die?
Dance to death.
Yep.
Okay. Before we move on to tonight's news,
Oh, here's a trivia. What's
Yeah.
Snow White's sister's name?
Rain Black.
Rose Red.
I think it's Ruby Red, but yeah.
Nice. She's Sleeping Beauty, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No, Ruby was a different character entirely.
What was she famous for?
Nothing really. She got cut out of a lot of things. But yeah, she was Snow White's sister. Had a red. Was it red cloak, red hair? I think it was red hair.
Of course you
She had-
remember her.
Well, I don't have a thing for redheads.
Okay.
For all you redheads listening.
Okay. Anyone think more about fairy tales, Disney movies before we move on?
Nope.
Yep,
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay. Okay, on to the nice news. There's not much to report, but I'm putting this in here for Cody. After 3.5 months of filming, Shazam has finally finished filming. It is
Okay,
finally
so
wrapped.
now it goes into 3.5 years of editing.
Okay, what do you think of the Zachary Levi picture of Shazam in his outfit?
I like the symbol and all that stuff. I imagine they're going to do like a ton of work to it CGI wise.
Do you think they're gonna do like the Injustice where like it's like lightning, or do you think it's just gonna be the flat, simple?
Being DC what it is, it's going to have the lightning in it, I think, because they're trying to go flare. They're not just going to have a golden.
Do you not like it? I didn't like it at first, but then I thought about it. If you're Billy Batson is what? How old? 10?
12.
12? Okay. And the whole point is Shazam looks the way that he does because that's how a 12-year-old boy would see a superhero.
That I enjoy.
So, wouldn't it make sense for that? That's how his costume would look.
I agree with you. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. But I think with today's audiences and
with
today's
the-
fanboys, that
And
they'll
what
have
DC is doing,
they'll
they're
have
gonna-
they'll have to put like a line in there or something about it because
Yeah, like what they did to Cyborg. Cyborg does not look solid at all through that entire Justice League movie. You can see like his inner working stuff, and they're like, "Oh, look how mechanical he is." I think they're gonna.
Do you want to see the
CGI.
hood? Do you want to see the hood?
I like the hood. I don't like the hood. Like I like the hood because it gives it a more modern
also
day feel.
another name, Grimm. You don't like the Grimm. We learned
Oh,
that later.
God.
We learned that earlier tonight.
We did.
Yep.
There he is.
The more you know. Okay. Okay. Paramount Pictures is working on a Snake Eyes solo film. Evan
For G.I. Joe?
Yep. Evan, some Greek name, who wrote Beauty and the Beast and The Huntsman, was writing the script. Also, in December of 2015, it was revealed that that interconnected universe was being planned with 5 nostalgic toy properties under the Hasbro name, including G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Visionaries, Mask, and Rom Space Knight. The new film series will be a joint venture between Paramount and AllSpark Pictures.
A connected universe?
Yep, that's AllSpark Pictures is Hasbro's film label. So
Here, let me put it out like this.
okay, oh wow.
Instead of doing 5 different movies in a connected universe, why don't we just do this? Mask 2, Mask 3, Mask 4, and Mask 5, and then we just forget about the rest of the other guys. Because none of them matter. It's only a Mask.
Or just make one really good movie, and if it's good, make another one. Stop planning. Stop having one movie being a hour and a half long trailer for the next film. Just make a really cool movie.
I hate to admit it, but I don't like agreeing with Adam, but I agree with Adam. Like, I just want to see I like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, I have not seen all of it, but there is so much time that you have to catch up. And I know everyone says, okay, but you can do without seeing this movie. But there's always little tiny details everywhere. I just want to see like a one shot. Here's such and such as Batman. Okay, that's it. Now we never see him as Batman again.
Okay.
I can get behind that.
Do we like the idea of a Snake Eyes movie? Of all the G.I. Joes, he's probably the most you can probably do a solo.
But he can't carry a movie.
He's a
silent.
voiceless protagonist. So it's gonna all be people talking for him.
But I watched A Quiet Place the other night. That was a really good movie.
I'd watch a Legend of Zelda
movie.
movie.
Behind it.
I mean, Link.
That was what?
Talk,
that was
if they ever made one,
theme behind it. That's what made it.
Yeah, but Link would have to speak then.
No, they would.
So I don't know much.
No, they would.
I don't know much.
Chrono speak when they did the Chrono Trigger movie.
I don't know much about these properties. Will these properties connect okay, or will they have to do a lot of BS in the game?
Yeah, they'll connect okay.
How will the Joes connect with Rom Space Knight?
It's Joe's in space.
I want to see a Street Sharks movie.
What is your favorite G.I. Joe?
Favorite G.I. Joe? Storm Shadow?
The evil Snake Eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have
badass.
a favorite G.I. Joe. I wasn't a G.I. Joe fan.
Okay.
I don't watch G.I. Joe.
What?
Yeah, we lived in the same house.
Wow. I'm probably gonna be called a hipster for this, but I like Beachhead and I like Roadblock. Those are my two.
See, I don't know
Was
either one of
Beachhead
those, so
the
you
one
are
with
a hipster.
with the white hair? And the
No,
flat top haircut?
Beachhead. He always wore the ski mask all the time.
Oh.
He in the cartoon, the G.I. Joe movie cartoon, he was the trainer of the new Joes. And I always liked Roadblock because he always rhymed. Yeah.
All right.
Speaking's hard for
Which
you,
which I wish The Rock would do, but he didn't do it when he was Roadblock. All right. Okay. Next bit of news. Burt Reynolds, Tim Roth, Burt Reynolds, Tim Roth, Kurt Russell, Michael Madsen, Leo DiCap, as I call him, and Brad Pitt with Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate are in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They're talking to getting Timothy Olyphant as Charles Manson.
Is this a continuation of like that Once Upon a Time in Mexico, or is that?
No, it's just a naming trend.
Yeah.
Because this is the third Once Upon a Time thing that he's done now.
No, this is the first one Tarantino's done.
No, because he did Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
No, and that was Rodriguez.
Tarantino's directing this?
Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
Yeah, I thought Chris swore Tarantino was involved in that.
He may have been involved, but he didn't write it or direct it.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't like Tarantino.
Oh, what?
I don't like Tarantino.
What is wrong
Yeah,
with
I
you?
don't really care for him either. What?
Another hipster. He's popular, so no, I don't want to watch him.
No, that's not why I don't like his movies.
No,
No,
him.
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
write for
Adam
you.
would have
Oh,
liked him
okay,
in the
all right.
90s when no one knew who he was.
No, untrue. That is untrue. I like his movies. I don't like him personally because I think he's a blowhard and an extreme hypocrite.
I don't like
Okay,
him.
so
I don't like his
did
movies.
you wrong at your
He
last?
didn't did me wrong at all. He's just the
He never
complete-
called them afterwards.
Oh, poor Adam.
I cannot win with you guys. Do we think Timothy Olyphant would be a good Charles Manson?
Yes, because he's weird.
Are we excited about this movie?
I did not know it existed until
Up until you
you
said Tarantino.
Daniel, are you stoked about this, or you care less? Or?
Not really. Like, I actually really do enjoy Tarantino's movies, but all the trailers I've seen for this one has just been.
They got trailers already yet?
I thought I saw a trailer for it. Yeah,
Are you sure?
unless I'm thinking of a different movie.
I think you might be.
Maybe. I could have
Okay.
swore I saw a trailer for it.
All right. I'm excited about this. Bill and Ted Face the Music is now official. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter will both be returning for the third film in the franchise. It's also rumored that William Sadler is going to be returning as Death.
That's cool, but Rufus isn't going to be in it, so.
Well, they can't really help that.
Well, yeah, they can travel through time.
Well, no, because
He's
he's
got
dead.
a point.
They can't have Rufus in there because he's dead.
But
I know, but-
what's going to be the plot, though?
When we last met Bill and Ted, they were time-traveling teenagers trying to pass history class and win the Battle of the Bands. Once prophesized to save the universe with a rock and roll middle age and responsibilities, a family had caught up with these two best friends and who have not yet fulfilled their destiny. They've written thousands of tunes, but they have yet to write a good one, much less the greatest song ever written. With the fabric of time and space tearing around them, a visitor from the future warns our heroes that their only song can save life as we know it. Out of luck and fresh out of inspiration, Bill and Ted set out on a time travel adventure to seek the song that will set their world right and bring harmony in the universe as we know it. Together with the aid of their daughters, a new crop of historical figures, and some sympathetic music legends, Bill and Ted find much, much more than just a song.
Huh.
Maybe.
I like that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll reserve. I like Bill and Ted. I don't
like it.
want this to be another movie where I get all excited about and I'm like, well, wish I wouldn't have wasted my time on that.
You gotta admit, Keanu Reeves is really cool. I mean, the dude has no reason to do this. And
There's no reason to do anything. He's like the nicest dude on the planet.
Yeah,
from everything I heard.
he rides subways.
He gave away like most of the money on
Yeah,
like
like-
the Matrix because he like gave it to like this special effects department
Yeah.
because he's like, you guys did more work than I did.
Like, yeah, I've read a lot of stuff about that. He rides the subway. He's super chill.
Yeah, people come up because he was that sad Keanu meme, and people
Yeah.
show him he thinks it's funny. He's like, I don't know, it's funny. People think it's funny. He
Like-
he doesn't get upset about it.
He also donates a lot of what he earns off movies to charities and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he has his motorcycle company. I think he makes more money off of his motorcycle company than that. So I think it's cool. I'm excited. I'm a big. Do we like Bogus Journey better than the original? I kind of dig Bogus Journey better than the original.
Bogus Journey was fun, but it wasn't better.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
think.
I like the original that because, like, I know I'm gonna get crap for calling this. Like, it was more down to earth.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It definitely had the sequel problem.
I didn't
where it
like the giant Satan weird.
No, man, I
hell.
love that.
I liked the Grim Reaper part.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's 2 out of 36.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Oh, and then the Reaper's line at the end of the movie, like, you might be a king or a
Even
city
a,
street.
even a street sweeper,
Reaper.
but sooner or later you all dance with the Reaper,
And then
which
he-
was someone's.
And doesn't he like whirl the thing around his head?
Yeah.
He spins it around in his
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
That was some murderer was sentenced to die, and those were his last words.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that before the movie or after?
It was
he,
after the
he
movie.
took it from the movie.
Yeah.
Well, people quote like Hemingway or Socrates.
He
He's
just
quoting
quoted
Bill
Bill
and
and
Ted. No, I'm not putting the movie down, but of all the things to quote,
There's a
as
bunch
you-
of funny last words.
Yeah?
Like there's like some murderer's last name was French. He goes, tomorrow's headline, French fries.
Nice. I like it. Did you find? No.
Yeah, I found a trailer for it, and it's the movie I thought it was, but the trailer is kind of shot on, so it's not what I saw.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it doesn't really strike me as interesting.
Okay.
Although I am a fairly large Tarantino fan.
Okay. Last bit of news. It's not really news, but To Hell and Back, the Keen Hodder story. I caught a trailer for it. It's out in Britain. I don't think it's come out in the U.S. yet. Check it out. Great stuntman. Cool stuntman. I have a really embarrassing story that makes me cringe with Kane Hodder. I met him. I like embarrassed myself with him. He suffered a really bad accident when he was young, and like he's burnt over like 80% of his body because of something stupid he did. He's a cool stuntman, so you should watch it.
And what was the embarrassing story?
Yeah, so what happened?
Oh, I thought I
say
told.
Embarrassing story like you're leaving a plot hook for the next episode.
Oh, I thought I told you guys. That's why I didn't.
No.
Okay.
Well, you may have told us, but you haven't told our loyal listeners.
Okay, so I go to film conventions. I went to a film convention in Baltimore where he was signing stuff. I had a Jason doll that I had bought from a garage sale. It was all beat up and stuff. So I went up to him, and I like stuntmen. I want to be a stuntman. I'm a sensitive stuntman. So I just went up to him. Anyone knows me, I don't really talk to strangers, let alone celebrities. For some reason my balls dropped and I was actually talking to him, and I was telling him that one day, I really look up to you. One day it would be awesome if I could work with you, and I'm a trained stuntman, and this and that. And he kind of rolled his eyes or whatever. Because anyway, the point is, to become a stuntman in the film industry, it's not like you're a 9 to 5 where you go apply somewhere. It's kind of like the old blacksmith, where you work under but to get in you have to beg a coordinator, which he is. And when he rolled his eyes, I realized he probably thought I was trying to hey, let me in. And let me in. And that's a really inappropriate spot to approach a stunt coordinator for that. And that's not what I meant at all. I'd never going to have a chance to meet a stuntman before, one that I like. And I was just telling him this, hey, you're one of the reasons why I wanted to become a stuntman. And I just felt, I got really embarrassed and just I'm sure my face was bright red, and I just clammed up really quickly, paid him the money, took my doll, and walked away with my head down. I felt like an idiot.
God, that is so sad.
I know. Because I'm sure he's like, yeah, whatever, whatever, kid. A kid, I was 20s. But yeah, so even just now talking about it, I'm cringing, and I feel.
I get that feeling all the time, where it's can't believe you said that.
Yeah, that was not my point, and that was not what I just wanted. I'm never gonna get a chance to meet you again. I'm just telling you, I went to stunt camp and paid a lot of money because you're one of the reasons, and he thought I was trying to be a jackass. I guarantee you he don't remember, so I don't even know why I cringe about it. So, so anyway, check out the documentary. He talks a lot about his accident and stuff. So, any other news you want to talk about before I move on to birthdays?
The trailer for the new Predator movie dropped.
I saw that, man. I was I'm a big Predator fan. I was watched that. I was this is not good.
Well, one thing I want to comment about, you've seen the trailer, right? And it seems like they're gonna have this theme where there's this, I guess it's a kid and it's Halloween time. I don't think they should use the title Predator during Halloween with kids in the movie. That seems a little creepy to me.
Is Olivia Munn a science teacher or something in the movie?
I thought she was in the military.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or does she have anything to do with science? Because someone posted a really mean picture, and it was I have more, it's more believable that there's an alien bounty hunter than Olivia Munn's smart.
Oh.
And I was like,
harsh.
Yeah.
It's 1, she can probably kick your ass. 2, she's hot. And 3, I don't know, she's probably smart.
Yeah, hot girls can be smart.
It's 2018.
I'm so glad you know what year it is.
Thank you. I'm going to go see it because Thomas Jane's in it. He's born on the same day I was born.
That's a very hipster thing.
Yeah. So I see anything. I promote anything Thomas Jane does. So, but I don't.
Like that movie, that TV series where he was a prostitute.
Hung? Yeah, I've seen it. It's good.
I bet you have.
But what do you guys think about the have you seen the trailer, Dan?
I did not see the trailer. I didn't know
I
it
haven't
was
seen it. I'm not a huge Predator.
I don't know if they're continuing with the storyline they left in Predators or even the Alien versus Predator storyline. It looks like they're trying to start fresh or something.
I don't understand. Why is it that aliens on Earth just don't work? Xenomorphs, really scary on a spaceship.
Because you're in space and there's no way to get away from it.
Xenomorphs
no one can hear you scream.
Xenomorphs on Earth. or even the Prometheus movies when they were on the engineer planet. I'm like, this doesn't work.
I found it a little bit better than them being on Earth, though. It's because on Earth, like, yeah, we outnumber. Eventually, yeah, you're going to kill all of us, but we're probably going to take you out before that.
But you liked it? Like, I just...
Well, it's got the same feeling as Alien, though. They're trapped on a planet with this thing, and they're the only things there.
Yeah, like Predator, the original Predator was good because it was a jungle. It's still kind of alien-like because there's no human-type things. Predator 2... While it's a good movie for a different reason, I don't buy the Predator running around the city. Predators was an amazing movie. I think it's highly underrated. Great movie.
Oh, it was terrible.
What is wrong with you?
I like good movies. The Predators was awful.
Name one reason.
With the stupid
Name 5 reasons.
Captain Useless who just has all these poisons.
Dude, that was that was a great rug pull. It's because he's like the whole time he's like, why am I here? Well, we don't know. We're all predators of some. We're all like assassins and predators in our own way. It's like, why is Topher Grace from that '70s show here? Then you find out that he's a serial killer.
I'm a monster.
Well,
too.
yeah, but that doesn't make sense for the predators. Like, why did the predators grab him?
Because
why did they know?
Because the predators need to know how to fight and combat every single situation. That's why they bring in different types of killers.
He's not a combatant. That's the thing.
A killer is a combatant.
Not someone who specializes in poisons.
They need to know how to counteract that.
They just kill him before he moves.
Yeah, like, you can't tell me that they've never run into a poisonous creature ever.
Not Topher Grace from that '70s show.
They don't know how to deal with...
In the sequel, they ran up against Red, and Red just kicked
Oh, Red put his ass put their foot in his ass.
But foots and asses.
Yeah. I also didn't like a lot of the cinema shots, because a lot of the things were just far too dark. Like not dark like emotional, like dark like I can't see what's going on.
You don't need to see what's going on.
I went to a Predator movie to see sweet Predator action, and I didn't get to see any of it because it all happened in the shadows. My same complaint with Aliens vs. Predators 2.
So, Requiem?
Yes.
Yeah,
that movie would have been fine if you could see what was happening.
So,
the brightness.
So
it only goes so far.
Yeah.
So when a movie takes place at night, you want fake night.
Yes, I want fake night because I still want to be able to see the action. I want to see what's going on. Now, if you're going to make us like a cinema shot where I'm supposed to not know what's happening for a short period of time, for like suspense or for dramatic, fine. I'm good with the blackout screen. But if there's something going on in the film, I want to see what's going on in the film.
Not just leave your mind to your own devices.
Right.
What if it's a movie about a blind guy?
Reasons, by the way, you only said 2.
What if it's a movie about a blind
I'm at
guy,
3 right
and
now.
so like the whole movie's just black?
I might be able to get behind
That's
that.
a radio show.
But, man, for a podcast. But like like there's a movie called Pitch Black that you can see the action better than you can in a lot of these films.
But that's fake dark.
I'm good with that. If I want to see real dark, I'll not turn on the damn light.
So, in a horror movie, when they use the room, when they use this, it's all dark. The ghosts turn off the light, and they use their cell phone to light the room, and literally the whole room illuminates because they need the audience to see it. You're okay with that? Where you wouldn't want a realistic thing where you only see this far in front of you?
I want to be able to see the director's vision.
What if that is the director's vision?
If the director's vision is for me not to be able to see the action for 90 minutes of the stupid 2-hour film, that director needs to be fired.
You know what the director's name was for the director's name for Predators? You know what his name is?
I have no idea.
Nimrod.
That makes sense.
Nimrod Antel. It's his real name, but it's the original. The original meaning for Nimrod means hunter, so not what Bugs Bunny and all them turned it into. All right, I don't know.
Oh, that's totally different
What?
realization.
What?
No, never mind.
Thank God we're staying on track.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Nimrod Sentinel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought like they just like giving it a disrespectful name, but now that you said that it actually means hunter, that makes a lot more sense.
Man, I can't believe you didn't like that movie.
I did not. I tried real hard to like it. I wanted to
like
it.
You didn't like the Yakuza?
The Yakuza was
He was
kind of
my
rough.
favorite character.
Like, he was cool, but
Why was he there?
should have had a better scene.
He's Yakuza.
No, I understand why he's there, but is he there just to? Okay, now I'm
On the next
confused.
Predator podcast.
That
No.
was really loud.
Now
You tell me I'm not loud enough.
Now I'm getting really confused because one episode you hate Asians, now you're in love with
I
the
don't hate Asians.
Well, he liked it because the Asian died.
Spoilers.
I hate how fast you guys are at this. Because I cannot
You
keep
make
on.
it easy. You make it easy. I'm afraid.
Adam's probably at home like 3 days from now. He's like, crap, I should have said this. He's like, I'm going to write that down for next time.
3 days. You give me way too much credit.
That's why it's always the first part of the podcast. Hey, you guys, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Fine. All right.
I like the idea behind Predators where they're shipping in stuff to hunt on basically a game preserve.
Yeah, like the concept was fine. I just think a lot of it failed because also you're bringing in these people, these killers that you want to hunt to prove that you're a better killer, but they kill is it 2 characters before they even get to the weapons cache?
One guy didn't even survive the parachute.
Yeah, like
His
what's the
parachute
point of that? Like you're not learning anything. You're not doing any hunting.
You're
there.
learning about terminal velocity.
Like, this idiot doesn't know how to open a parachute.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Just that there's a new Predator movie coming out. I hope. Like I enjoy the Predator franchise. Like that was like I think my first gory movie as a kid was the original Predator with Schwarzenegger. And then that realization.
do your Arnold impression and get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Tyler?
Get with the chopper!
Get to the chopper.
Okay. I don't do impressions.
Gubernatorial!
And then that, I'm sure I'm not the only. The first realization, like with the Native American characters on the log, waiting, like I'll hold them off, and then later you see in the movie that the guy was camouflaged, and you realize, that Predator basically just walked right up to him and just.
Do you know who was in the original outfit? Who was actually doing the stunts for that? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Really?
He got fired. So,
Was he dancing too much?
Huh.
no, he thought when he was cast, he thought he was the lead. He was going to be the lead. The movie's going to be about him. Then when he found out he wasn't, he was really pissy.
Okay.
That sounds like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep. Okay. Birthdays. Mr. Edward himself, Robert Pattinson.
Mr. Edward?
Yeah, I had to look.
Mr. Cullen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's Edward. His name's Edward.
Edward Cullen, yes.
Edward. This is weird. When I looked to find out, I couldn't remember. I was like, man, is he Edward or Jacob? So I went to the Internet Movie Database, looked
You're
at
an
Twilight.
idiot.
He wasn't even part of the original. Like, you know how there's a bunch of people that come up and you have to go entire cast? He wasn't even part of that first thing.
Because he hated that movie so much, they probably didn't even want him on there.
Huh?
I mean, has he been able to do anything after that? I know the actor for Jacob tried to do one, and it didn't go well.
He was in Remember Me. That was an alright movie until the twist ended. and
I hated
everyone
that.
got
Then
pissed
he was
off.
in Water for Elephants, where he was in the
Remember.
affair of an older
Yeah.
woman.
He's in a movie with the chick Claire from Lost. And it's like a
Oh.
rom-com, and then you
Oh,
find out
Claire.
that it's September 11th, and he's in the World Trade Center. I just like that movie because his name's Tyler.
Oh. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You give me crap for liking He-Man because he's Prince Adam.
I was being sarcastic.
So was I the whole time.
No, you wouldn't.
It was a very hipster thing.
Changing
Your opinions just because you found out what other people's opinions are.
A constant Tarantino collaborator, Harvey Keitel. I liked him in From Dusk Till Dawn. Okay. Deadpool. I believe Deadpool's love interest, B. Arthur. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler's hero and love interest, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. He was great in that team-up movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Double Team.
Double Team.
And a basketball parachute.
Yeah. Darius Rucker, the Hootie or the Blowfish, whichever one he identifies with, and
That was a very hipster thing to say.
and stuntman for tonight, Adam Horton. He did.
Wonder why we picked him.
He did stunts for Jason Bourne, Dark Knight Rises, and Fast and the Furious 6. Okay.
So nothing good.
Yep. Sons of a bitch. All right, so it's Mother's Day. We wish all of our mothers happy birthdays, except for Tyler's mom.
Yeah, we
Happy
wish.
birthday.
Happy Mother's Day.
Except for Tyler's mom.
You know, I went to get my mom a Happy Mother's Day card. Couldn't find one I liked, so I got a birthday card of the Justice League. And when you open it up, it says the world is a better place because of you, or something like that. And you open it up, and there's like Superman shoots out, you know. So I like this card's cool. So I took a Sharpie and I like scratched off Happy Birthday and wrote Mother's Day.
I thought about doing that as a gag, but I thought it would be too cheesy, so I'd never done that.
Well, I just did it because I like the card. It was cool.
What did your mom say about it?
She
said, "Fuck you, Adam. You're not my child."
She thinks I'm an idiot anyway, so she you know,
That's fair.
most of my family know.
I thought you killed this thing, Cody. What the
I
hell?
know.
I think.
It's
Oh my
the
God,
same-
it's on the ground.
Stun it?
It's the same. It's the
Maybe
same
that's why
one.
we think there was two of them, because
It's immortal.
It's now alive, stronger than ever, and it's got a vendetta against you.
Sandfly.
Cody's gonna be walking out the door, and he's just gonna start like being strangled.
We're just gonna see him like just fall down.
Yeah.
We're just like, that fly got him.
How'd he die? The fly.
The fly.
Superfly holding the head. Just went. Phew.
They're remaking Superfly too, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. That's all right. That's
Huh.
all right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Daniel, unless anyone's got any more things.
Nope.
All right.
Damage Control Podcast will be recorded at Underdark Comics and Games in Quincy, Illinois. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook/Underdark Comics, or check out our website at underdarkquincy.com. Send us an email, send us a message, stop in and say hi.
Yes, Damage Control. You can find Damage Control Podcasting on all the social media. The Twitter at Dam Control. At Dam Control, yeah.
At Damage Control, yes.
Yeah. What?
You look at Daniel like, did I do that right? Say it right? Yeah? Oh, I'm a good boy.
Who's a good boy? Okay.
He's a good little hipster.
I was doing good until you guys interrupted me. Facebook, YouTube,
Sorry,
you are correct. Sorry.
The YouTube.
The YouTube, the Facebook, the SoundCloud, and the iTunes at Damage Control Podcasting, all one word. And contact us at damagecontrolpodcasting@gmail.com. I apparently bored Daniel that he had to yawn.
Why was it all the, and then a the?
It's British. The last one was.
That's a very hipster thing. Throw in some British stuff.
Cheerio and all that.
You don't even like Brits.
Pip.
Yeah, I do. I like Manx.
Tell
You made fun of me because I like the Beatles.
The Beatles suck.